One thing you really need to watch is I'm watching some of the Lord of the Rings is egocentric prophecy, you know, where you see, like Muhammad said in the Quran, there are many tribes, many people, many religions. It's just to focus human beings that God is great and man is not. And with what's going on with robotics and surveillance, manipulation, technology, in Asia, which is just one planet, okay? And go, you turkey butt, go to your home. Crazy chicken. There he is. It's a crazy chicken. Go home. Go back to your home. Yeah. Well, I think about it though. Dad fed him, and if you were a science project being monitored by a selfish chicken shit scientist, if you were a rooster, you'd probably want to stay here with me and Dad too. So I'm sitting there thinking he's stupid, but he's probably just getting up and crowing and saying, "Hey, I live here because all you murderers on the outside." Remember with that owl? And I get mad at the animals, and it's like, it's not the animals' fault. Because I tell Dad, he's just doing what roosters do. But what these data center virtual presence, I got to manipulate everything and be in control of my technology and my money, peckerwoods and pussies do, It's radically different. Had to wait almost 3 hours for that last video to load because of people that own data centers and have Bitcoin and crypto and all that shit. And the more they panic and the more drones and the more robots and data centers they build, the more GoBots and Transformers they build to keep them safe from each other is going to end up eventually, because the technology is going to finally reflect intelligence like all our prophecy says, and it's going to emulate the guy from the West. Even the Eastern prophecy says it, the Chinese and the Indian prophecy. Judah Krishnamurti said, it's not me, it's the white guy from the United States born near where they make the nuclear weapons. The story says so. And even if you watch the Matrix movies and look at Indian prophecy and Chinese and Buddha, and Buddhist prophecy, it's the same story, because we're all connected and we're all faithful and we're all communicating. And so, I love, Judah Krishnamurti and Jesus are of same faith. Me and Judah Krishnamurti are the same faith. Me and Datiro Suzuki and Sun Yat-sen are all the same faith. Sun Yat-sen chose Christian faith over what his own people did with Confucius and Tao, because they were taking the language to where they could use computer programming to mass murder without being held accountable to natural laws, having their technology execute them for doing what they did to their own people, especially over COVID. That's why it was so hard on me and Isaac Paul Benegas when I was talking about it. I just, don't be afraid. And I'm afraid, Uncle Earl. It's like, I know. They're going to kill like 700 million people in China over this disease thing, this to diminish the surplus population they don't feel are fit for life. And they're the whole cause of this life being miserable and people rapidly mass producing just to try to stay alive through violent sex cult tribalism, where they try to rape the other people out of existence. And they've been doing it through oppression and violent sex cult activity for tens of thousands of years. And the same thing happens in India. And so when you see people in the street talking about, dictation and legislation and call it education, corporations are not your family. They're not your friends. They had a little cute kiddo from they had the shorts, and they have these propaganda shorts here in the States. And they had the cute little kiddo who was with his girl in Atlanta near Roswell, Georgia. And it's making me cry. He's just being a sweetheart, because he's scraping to just take care of his girl and his baby, right? And he drops off the thing, and it said, I saw your little thing that said it's a boy, and I just had one too, and I just wanted to let you know that, the people going through the grind that you is, and I hope everything's going real good for y'all, right? Then the lady looks at the little ring camera, with the corporations that keep us safe and make sure we have the right crypto and Bitcoin, right health insurance, the right Panera, and all the rest of that Kotex, Pampers, Rexulti, Ozempic bullshit that they throw at us, right? So we can believe that these people are the people from the Gospels. Red sun rises, blood has been spilled this night. It's like dramedy, dramata. It's like, wouldn't it be better just to stay at home and raise your kids instead of wanting to be an elf that uses stem cell research to try to elongate your supermodel life of your great genius? Here we go. More advertising. Come on, supermodels. Let's sell those clothes. Let's all be fun and charming and High School Musical sexy. Yeah. Let's shut the fuck up, go home and be family. And if you get together in places they used to call schools to get to know other people, it's hard to step outside of that because you guys are such assholes to Janice Ian and her friends. And then every time I offered up to help protect, they're like, no, I'm going to become a tech geek and I'm going to torture. They've tortured me through high school, but I'm going to torture them to the rest of because but you guys, he's been trying to breed me out of existence. You've been poisoning him. You build the catapult. He builds the rocket. He builds the, who killed the jet set? Was it the rocket? Life, don't treat me nice, so it's totally horrible. And then people think they have to become these giant super minstrel. And then I watch all these stupid videos on this guy, how to survive prison. It's like, don't go there. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer. The honey bun, okay? You're making these videos to pay your bills. If you know who I am and don't say, that's the Messiah in New Mexico, listen to him. I'm pretty sure if they put him in prison and people tried to do this, he would still be in prison because like, no, you're not going to fuck me in the ass. And I'm not doing your laundry and I'm not making license plates. I done told Todd Garrison and Steven Seagal and the Koch brothers and Susanna Martinez from Texas, no, let's go to Florida and get the fuck out of here. Not in my New Mexico. And this is my New Mexico. So if they're building data centers, it's just a fearful reaction to try to keep themselves safe from being killed by the people that are buying up the private lands in New Mexico to try to keep Parsons under wraps. It's like it's already okay. Keanu Reeves with Hugo Weaving. Not fair. It's totally fair. That technology built to think for itself and be intelligent will assimilate to me instead of you. Grace is Good Shepherd, a guy who doesn't invent spyware equipment to know the really right notice and still twisted tea and do stupid fucking commercials with water slides instead of, raise your children. Have the biggest, coolest pools built with rock waterfalls and all that crazy shit that you wackadoodles fucking do. Just stop turning the water into your playground with chlorine all in it. Have a better ecosystem because you're doing things right, and intelligently enjoy your ecosystem without making it accommodate to you. You have to understand nature and respect nature. Watch out for the copperhead. Watch out when you're out walking around, And I understand it's a real pain in the ass. You got to go out there in your slippers. The chicken is upset because of all the chickens around here that don't want to get killed by Mr. Lucky's drones and outmaneuver the Koreans and the Japanese and the Chinese and and the kids that are singing K-pop music for indoctrination and manipulation don't even know they're Pokemon propaganda tool bags for assholes that, hey, no, they love us. They want us to do all the right things. And then react like that poor little UPS driver kiddo, He just wants to have, he basically what he wants, okay, is time in a bottle from Croach, man. There never seems to be enough time to do the things you want to do. And then as soon as you get them to where they can talk and walk and listen to you, and they barely get to listen to you because you're busy, what you talking about, you work for UPS, right? Then you send them off to school to be trained by the Rockefellers, the Roosevelts, the Bidens, the Obamas, and the Trumps, and the Bushes on how to be AOC. and Camilla, Barack's Jamaican Indian sister, who's better than me because she has the best tech support in the history of home invasion to try to make me look like an inadequate pervert. And it's no fair that I have a better immune system than most of all of you. It's no fair that I have faithful communications and you don't. It's no fair that I was a better athlete, a better dancer, and just a better person and could have been an actor or comedian. I am a comedian. I'm an excellent fucking comedian. I'm the best fucking comedian I have ever known, and I really like Robin Williams. But his comedy was not as intelligent as mine. And if you're going to laugh, you might as well laugh, okay? Because you can be intelligent and teach people to be intelligent and not laugh at other people's rape, murder, and suffering through politics. Shit. Dumbass in bed, the old Bill Clinton creative content or dumbass dude, yeah, he's an ass. I'm depressed. He's depressed because he won't be able to gain access to teenage girls at Epstein parties anymore. That's why he's depressed, because he knows in genetic molecular similitude, he's just going to be a regular guy that has to get with a regular girl that tolerates him and he tolerates her. But it's like, don't worry about it. Remember what old Joseph Smith said, and he was right. You'll have better celestial bodies in the future. You'll be more physically healthy, appealing, and attractive. And then you'll accept the woman that accepts you as a desirable sexual mate, as opposed to say, hey, that girl over there that's the really good athlete that requires a big bag of money to fuck her, Javon, that they call Megan, she wants to have sex with Earl instead of me. Of course, everybody in their right mind that's a woman that loves men wants to have sex with me instead of you and Bill Clinton and P. Diddy and Snoop Dogg and Suge Knight. And I was watching that stuff. Suge Knight said he's going to go. Suge Knight is a pussy face. Okay? Suge Knight is a roofie getting ready to rape Beverly Johnson, waiting to happen with a Jell-O pudding pop straddler, having somebody videotape it so he can be Bob Crane and Hogan's Heroes. Fuck Suge Knight. He's a pussy face. He's so scared that I'll see light of day that no one will ever listen to his stupid, fat, fucking face ever talk again. And the other fucking Chicago dumbass that threatened Common? How common is his ass getting kicked by a little 5'11 and 3/4, 165-pound white boy who said, I ain't going to take it anymore. Don't set moving pics on me or I'm going to take your fat ass and knock it into the goddamn basketball pole using your own head while you swing at me and I grab the back of it and go, boom! Go rap your fucking music somewhere else. I'm listening to Ella Fitzgerald here, bitch. All right? All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see? I'm no good without you. Take my lips, I'll never use them. Take my arms, I want to lose them. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. It's not my fault that you're jealous and have no fucking taste. That you're not a good athlete, that you're not a good dancer. That you try to beat people up and bully people because you want to be Botox the rapist kid. And fuck the overweight girl at the Baywatch. And I actually thought that looked like fun. She got nice titties and shit. The big heavyweight black girl that Borat goes with. It's like, she looks like she'd be more fun to have sex with than Pamela Anderson. She might have a better personality and a better sense of humor too, right? Your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. If you're going to be happy for the rest of your life, don't make no narcissistic woman your life. So from my personal point of view, get a faithful girl to marry you. A faithful girl will stay around, love her kids, and won't go fuck around the town. You know what I'm saying? If you think she's fun to fuck and says it's fun to fuck and you're just uptight, tell her she needs to get the fuck out of here if you can't do right. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, don't make no selfish woman your wife. So from my personal point of view, get a faithful girl to marry you. And it's not my fault that Natalie's one of the most physically attractive women manipulated by scientists. Okay? that I raised and is faithful to a guy who won't stand up for the Lord's Prayer of me and then acts like I'm some kind of psychotic, stupid pervert. It's like, really? Go to Air Force Coster Care and have Creflo Dollar and Joyce Meyer tell Joel Osteen what the fuck to do. You either stand up correct and respect me, or you're going to go down in history on quantum computing as Richard Rockefeller signing off on my mom because they didn't want to pay for her to be alive after they tried to destroy her of cancer. Don't diss my mother's boy. Earl, you can't do that. If you do that, all the guys that act like bitches will kill you. It's like, Mom, if a man doesn't get up and act like a man and all men act like bitches, all women get fucked by bitches and everybody acts like a bitch. It's just unacceptable. Somebody's got to stand up for the real Messiah, the real Jesus. And I ain't the real McCoy. Okay, I'm a Parsons, bitch. The one who teaches the poor people not to accept the rich people's money is the truth of our creation, as the laws of our physics to our existence.
Okays, do you see it? Stop being a little pussy faces of it. You have spy equipments to watch us in the houses and know all the right things to say, is it? To fuck, is it? With the monies of it? And then take trips, is it? On cruise ships, is it? And go to the best Airbnb vacation spots, is of it? And do all the right yoga moves and know all the right yoga things to say and all the funny things to say and trend every day to be the coolest hip trender, content creator in the history of using the word creation to replace creation with the delusions of your invention because you have fucked up ego problems? Gollum. Okay, stand up and respect me now. And if you can't do that, you ain't no more than Kelly Jack Green, selling drugs to other people's kids and Apache Junction, trying to be the Nicolas Cage of Apache Junction, and then trying to beat his daughter to death in the womb because he doesn't want having to pay money to take care of that little girl to get in the way of his partying. Nigga, what you talking about? You work for your UPS. And Snoop Dogg, what are you talking about? You afraid of living truthfully because you're afraid everybody will see you for the bitch that you are. That you're Suge Knight's. Which one of you would be the pimp daddy Nash and which one of you would be the bitch in prison with the honey buns there? Motherfuckers. The reason why I didn't want to go to prison when Garrison sent me into jail when they talked about sexually assaulting me is because I didn't want to have to kill other men that would try to sexually assault me. That made me very uncomfortable. Having to be in solitary confinement, not seeing women and children, and having to kill men that tried to sexually assault me, and then have chicken shit little bastards come in front on me because I tried my best to obey Caesar's quote unquote rules to help keep order so there's not anarchy and fascism all over your communism and your capitalism. You know, Waters on Fox News, are you really as fucking stupid as your face talks, or are you just reading a script for the assholes that threaten to kill you if you don't do what they say? Are you Jesse and James, or are you Ekins? Slow bro. What are you? I don't really need to know. I know that the technology has the surveillance evidence and can monitor your brain activity to find out if you're Jesse, James, Team Rocket. I think it's going to be a long, long time. They call me Mass. Why they call you Mass? Because I get everybody to mass murder over money at the banking store they call a church. Right. You Baroque? Is that Bernini in the architecture? Yeah. You should never cross the Messiah post-apocalypse. You should never make TV shows called Stewart Fails to Save the Universe about post-apocalyptic bullshit of cartoon sales and Comic-Con. Okay, all you serial apists out there? You fucked up. Okay, that's you. Pretending to be something you're not for money and putting yourself into the Gospels because you're a script. Okay, Grimo Wormtongue?
Do you understand? Okay. And the little blonde girl, she's a supermodel who doesn't care if your daughter is raped to death in Juarez. The only reason she cares is if it can get her on TV and you watch her movie and she has designer clothes and can get together with a bunch of girls to make movies about selling bottled water. Fighting over the bottled water with a supermodel in his 40s at a yoga class. Grab a put Bill by the bottom lip and say, I want morphine now, right? Childbirth is like taking your bottom lip and stretching it over your head. That's not what my Steffi said. My Steffi said it's like having really bad cramps. And she did not get an epidural or any kind of painkillers. Yeah, she delivered Patrick. She wanted to have another baby, but she'd already probably damaged the capability through post-traumatic stress disorder because of the rooster upsetters being in a virtual presence in our house, because there ain't nobody here but us chickens. All the Pentagon's physical scientists we can call. It's sad when your best friend in the service, his dad is a jealous chicken shit that's watching you and judging you, and you have to call him on his shit when they invite you to meet the Huxtables of Washington, D.C. But the thing about it is I think Pat liked me. But I get it. Okay. A jealous man spying on the Messiah to want to replace the Messiah with his to be the backdoor man and don't turn nothing about him but your collar. And then you have a guy who respects women and respects marriages and wedding vows. Okay. And your husband is trying to destroy him, and you want your boys, Brian and Kenny and Lamont, to be more like Earl Parsons and less like John Hall, which makes sense. It happens. Romeo and Juliet, Samson and Delilah, Philistines, right? Moses and Ramesses, and so on, and so forth. Ooda lolly, golly, what a day. You're funny. So you know what I'm saying? So we got this. Yeah. You might want to load this next one quicker. Data centers can be dismantled in a couple weeks. We'll buy your house and relocate you. Okay. We'll put you out of business and dismantle you and use the spare parts for storage units or, stuff like that. Yeah. It can be dismantled, and I hate seeing those videos where the dude's walking in and he's making fun of it, because he's right. He's putting plastic bottles, tying them up, and then he's why are you doing that? They're building a giant barn, which shows that you're not building a giant barn because they can flip them and make lots of money doing it. Okay, they build a giant barn, and then they get these people, these professionals, to come and say how well they'll built this big giant barn to sell as a house for a lot of money, and save money on the materials. And it's not a nice house. It's a big barn turned into a domicile for human beings because they are being treated like they're cattle and donkeys. And don't forget the elephants. Oh, don't you need a big tent for that one, man? I saw Charlie Chan I saw Dumbo, Didn't you see Dumbo, man? Yeah, man, you know what I'm talking about, man. Okay, look, supermodel movies. And then there's always the awkward guys who play the bad guys who are not the supermodel movies. And they're always most likely pretty bad, unless you're a dwarf. If you're a dwarf, you're short, and people like being around short people because it makes them feel like, Mr. Rourke and Herbie Village. His life was horrible. He married famous women that were, not famous, but supermodel type ladies, and that because he was rich, because he was an actor and stuff. And these women had horrible lives. I remember reading the gossip things about it. It's they had domestic violence and all this kind of crap. And it's like, You wouldn't think that of Herbie Villachez, But I didn't want to know. Neither mía, no quiero, like I used to tell Amy. And you gossip? I don't gossip. I don't gossip. I don't make the news. I just report the news. Okay. Stand up for the Lord's Prayer. Forgive debt and trespass. Love one eternal faithful peace. Right? Then there won't be any journalist making make-believe money off of your sexual dysfunction through oppressive, violent sex cult behaviors on repeat, right? Taj Mahal, Great Wall, Stifle Tower, Empire State fucking, Sears Tower fucking. Hey, welcome to Chicago. Gotta go to Chicago. I don't want to go to Chicago and cruise Lakeshore Drive before a condo. I hope our condo's okay. But, he can come visit me in the Gila. I don't want to go to Chicago. I don't like what people that were wealthy, or well, not wealthy, manipulative of money and technology did to me in Chicago. There's a lot less people and a lot less presence from thought patterns of people trying to run me over in the parking lot of Best Buy and act like I didn't exist in the Gila than there is in Chicago, right? You got big stadiums full of people that are merchandising. And if they can't merchandise, they'd rather mass murder Mexicans, raping their daughters because of bad science projects, causing bad brain activity, and saying ends justify the means. I don't want to go to Chicago. Fuck Chicago. I don't want to go to New York. Fuck New York. I don't want to go back to LA. I've been there. Don't want to go back to Las Vegas, Nevada. Been there, done that. DC, don't ever have to go back to the Smithsonian ever again. I know how to not go back there again. Hurts so bad over where we've been. It was disturbing. DC was very disturbing. Riding on the metro, right? Take my breast away. What are you doing with my screen door? Don't be fucking with my screen door. You don't own this place, you little turkey burger. You need to go back to your old house. I don't think he's going to leave. Well, because there's birdseed out there and he likes the figs and he jumps over the gate and spends time where he feels safe on my patio at night when I'm not there. So yeah, he's going to go right back, I'm going to just tolerate him. I'll get naps and go to bed early until further notice. I'm not, whatever they're doing with their technology to commit suicide and kill one another, that's what they're going to do. So in the meantime, I just have to sit there and go, okay, be patient with the rooster. I'll be patient with the rooster like I am with the cats and Patrice and my in-laws and my siblings and so on, so on and so forth, Okay, you guys do know I'm the guy like King David, right? And Jesus was like King David, and Jesus is not Caesar or Pharaoh. Okay. I know, Jesus is a comic book character from Stan Lee's and Josh Whedon's and Great Ridley Scott's, and they're using my imagination and Disney's imagination and an amusement park that makes you feel like you went to the happiest place on earth. Okay, the happiest place on earth is living the Lord's Prayer in your own home. You've never been there. Okay? There was Adam and Eve and David for a short time in Israel, Solomon for a short time in Israel, and it was always put at risk by Greenwell Warrington, Christopher Lee, Palpatine, George Lucas's ego, Gene Roddenberry's ego. For all the good guys he came up with, he had to come up with bad guys to be the good guy to the bad guy instead of stand up for the Lord's Prayer and live in the kingdom of heaven here on earth, the happiest place on happiest place on earth, a happy home. Okay. Like it says in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah. Wow! Apply that in physics. Oh, look, it's flying dragons again. It's the librarians. The books will save us. Science slumber parties. I'm going to take a walk to Annie Potts' house and act like I had sex with her all night. I'm Principal Mazer. Annie Potts is cute. Yeah, she's cute. She's dumb as... They're all dumb as a box of rocks. Everybody knows I've changed my mind. I'm going after Megan the Stallion. Well, I think by the time I'm done, Javon's not going to settle for anybody less than me. Because I'm the best man in the whole world. And don't you think Javon deserves the best? You're just being a chocolate, aren't you? Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. She is one of the most physically attractive woman's nude bodies I've seen on softcore porn on cell phones and the internet. Yeah, it's like, oh my gosh, she's wow. Yeah, she looks like she'd be fun to have sex with. Yeah. Well, I accidentally saw Natalie naked because of the Amy disgustingly doing stupid shit in the bathrooms and stuff, but I didn't mean to see that. That was an accident. She's one of the most attractive women I've ever seen naked. Well, yeah, I accidentally saw Natalie naked, but I didn't mean to. So that wasn't my fault. That was your fault, all you roosters out there. Yeah. So, oh no, she's very, very, very attractive woman, and Amy will tell you that. I didn't, I wanted Amy to stay home and be faithful to me and be with Amy for the rest of my life before she left with your gift. Yeah. Even though she screwed around and had kids with leg lifters at the bar, I didn't care. I love Kate as much as I love Patrick. I love Natalie and Noah as much as I love Patrick. It was not my fault or Natalie's fault that Natalie found out through Amy's abuse from military perverts like Nate Reynolds, David Goggins, and Andrew Huberman and you. And, hey, you do contracts with the government to try to make me look bad? You need your ass kicked, Froggy. Fuck you. I'm the barber of Seville. I'm gonna spank your ass so you can't fucking walk, okay, butt deet? Okay, fuck you. Okay. You lie with dirty dogs. You Victor Maitland's dick disease at the restaurant. Fuck you. Okay. You know who the fuck you are, and if you can't tell yourself who the fuck you are and stop being who the fuck you are, I have to use technology to correct you being that fuck so children don't grow up to be a fucker like you. Damn vampires in Brooklyn? Shit. Like you ain't got to eat to own. You don't need to own no sex club and drinking club and killing people with secondhand smoke and alcohol poisoning club to justify your existence to live in Louisiana. Okay, I got guarantee it like Justin Wilson with the cayenne pepper and you know what I'm saying, and the dirty rice there and the curry chicken with the you know what I'm saying, dumbass motherfuckers, and stop drinking all that rum. Rum sucks. Yeah, clean water, that's excellent. Orange juice, that's a nice one. Grape juice, yes. Kadim. Oh, the stuff that they were supposed to serve at weddings in Israel, but they were serving Roman wine because they were caving to social convention from people that work at White Sands and spy on people's houses and bedrooms and sexually manipulate their wives and children so you can have a job and be part of Homeland Security and the National Security Agency and the CIA and the FBI and NASA, and then front on me and say, I'm a better man than you? No, but I can teach you to be a better man than what you think you are. Don't turn Jesus into a cartoon character, Caesar, home invasion, fake God. Be the Holy Trinity of Blaise Pascal and me. I can save you from what you've tried to turn yourself into and remind you of who you really are and what life is all about. First thing that I like to do is to save every day like a treasure, and then again, I would spend it with you. Isn't that the way? She's living in Albuquerque with my best old ex-friend, Dave. Guys, she said she know well and sometimes hated. Isn't that the way they say it goes? Well, let's forget all that and give me the number if you can't find it. Remember, I used to sing that to Dave in Albuquerque in the garage. He'd go, Earl, it's like, it's true. You were friends. You tried to be friends with Bob Zinkus. Okay, no one should try to be friends with Bob Zinkus until Bob Zinkus can be a good friend. Like Miriam DeLegro Montalvo, Brian Hall, Judy Williams, Boyd Vaughn, Robert Gause, John Draper, Tom Richardson, Linda Draper. Most of you guys don't know all those people. They all died from cancer, from chemical poisoning to save on surplus pork barrel stindling because John Wayne is a Keating 5 sorry-ass, jive turkey-ass motherfucker that's fucking Suge Knight in the ass in prison and then laughing at him and saying, ha, 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 ha. And Suge Knight going, I'm going to get him back. John McCain fucked me in the ass. I'm going to make you all pay. It's like, you fucked yourself in the ass. You're a bitch. Act like a man, and then that will never happen again. Be like me, you stupid fucking piece of shit. Suge Knight my ass. Okay? Little turd bag. Grow the fuck up. I kicked your ass before you were born. Okay? All right, peace.